starting with the game win. I was broken, got rich with the same friends. They wanting this squad since the age 10. Tuck the gun on my back like a mercenary.
Big J, you're on fire.
What's up, YouTube? I'm your host Flamo. How you guys doing today? Today's video, guys, we are going to be checking out sad story of Harlem Spartans. Now, this is a recommendation from you guys that I have been getting for quite some time, and we are finally here, everybody. So without further ado, if you guys are new to the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button for me. We are on the road to 3K subscribers. You guys see that number? We are less than 40 subscribers away. We are 39 subscribers away. Get me there. Just hit that subscribe button, and I know you're watching this and you're new. Just hit that button for me. But without further ado, let's get straight into this video. And just letting you guys know as well too, I'm a little bit sick still as well, so just bear with me, alright?
Guys, your boy Kid Nerd here, back with another video. And today we're exploring the rise and fall of South London drill group Harlem Spartans.
Hey, so we do letting you guys know right now, we gotta mute some parts of this video because it's copyright, you know. So we gotta run ass to our videos, man, you know. So we gotta do what we gotta do. So just gotta respect the grind.
And what a lot of young people nowadays can take and learn from their rise and fall. But before I get into this video, follow me on Instagram for a chance to win a £100 Amazon gift card. Insta is on the screen now, so get following for the chance to win that. Let's get into the video. So Harlem Spartans is a gang located in the South London town of
Kennington, where it started.
Harlem
it's
really
like that
put
one
the
song.
area on the map with smash hits like Kennington, where it started, which is now.
Bro, didn't I just say that, bro? I literally just said that, bro. You know what? Let me put some captions on the screen real quick. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys, we had to pull up the captions so we could really, it could really help us with this video, so.
And Harlem really put their area on the map with smash hits like Kennington, where it started, which is now on 16 million views. And around these times in 2016 to 2017, they were really the biggest things out in drill, and were even one of the biggest pushers for UK drill to be played on the international level, with rappers like Drake being heavy fans of the group. And they were even big influence.
Yeah, you know, talking about Drake, I guess you could say, guys, I'm not necessarily really new to the drill scene, like of the UK drill. I mean, I am, you know, it all started with my first UK drill reaction. But I'll say even before that, the first ever UK drill rapper, like, whose name I've ever heard of was Central C. And I guess Central C, he's a very known UK artist. Even Drake collabed with him, you know? We even got American rappers that is big over here that knows about Central C, like Lil Durk, people like that, you know, like, it's crazy, man.
This is for overseas drill groups to start making their music, like the popular Australian drill group 1-4. But behind all these numbers and recognition, real stuff was going on in the streets. And due to their come up being so fast and explosive, it was clear that the group hadn't adjusted yet to keeping the streets and their music separate, which resulted in the massive eventual downfall of their group. So before Harlem Spartans became a thing, the local gang in the Kennington area was called Cuckoo, also known as Black Prince, who were quite small,
we heard of that name before.
recognized gang in South London, in times where South London was a complete war zone. This was during the infamous beef between the two neighbouring areas in South London called Brixton and Peckham, where Kennington was on Peckham's side against Brixton. Kennington didn't really have that much involvement in this feud, but in 2006 they did stab to death a 15-year-old Brixton gang member called Tiny Alien right after he finished.
I just still can't believe that, like, you know, like 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds and stuff like that, like, that's just like, how can I say, I don't want to say it's not a big deal, because it is a big deal, but like, it's not as shocking to you guys as it is to me, if that makes sense. Like, shoot, over here in America, 15 is young as hell, bro. 15, bro, like
11 GCSE exams.
15 over here in America, that's like a 10th
Harlem
grader.
Spartans are from has historically always had a feud with Brixton gangs, and throughout the years, the area has picked up quite a few other enemies, like Peckham, who they were close allies with during their war against Brixton. But despite the area's smaller gang size, they have still managed to hold down all their beef. And then the younger generation of Kennington started to form, who we know now have still managed to hold down all their beef. And then the younger generation.
Bro, for the love of Jesus Christ, guys, stop saying I look like this man.
of Kenton started to form, who we know now today as Harlem Spartans.
Damn,
Most members
bro.
from Harlem went to
why
a
is it
school
so
called
damn hot in
Tennyson
here,
in
bro?
Oval, South London. But this school also included a lot of kids from Brixton as well as Kenton. And obviously, Kenton and Brixton Olders were beefing at the time. But this wasn't a concern for Harlem members during school. And during school, members of Harlem and kids from Brixton were actually friends. And quite a few Harlem members used to rep Brixton gangs during secondary school.
Bro, it's so crazy when he says this too, like all the songs of Ukdrill were reacted to, like some of these gangs, it's crazy to think that they were once friends back then. And because they're in their gang, you know, they gotta choose the gang first over your friend, which is sad to say, you know, because it's like, come on, bro, like you grew up with this person, you really gotta turn your back on that person for the gang. But then at the same time too, it's like, bro, the gang, well, I don't know how the gang works like that, because I forgot who it was, guys. It's just so many names in this Ukdrill, but somebody, I guess they got out of the gang and like they focused on like themselves, and then I think it was doing like Islam or something like. You guys know who I'm talking about. It's a dude that left the gang to focus on his Islam rituals or something like that. You guys know who I'm talking about.
MizOrMac, he used to rep the Brixton Gang 17, and Loski, he used to rep the Brixton Gang 150. And he,
but yeah, so I don't know, cause over here in America, like if you get out of a gang, they're gonna get you, like straight up. I don't know if it's the same over there for UK, but
even in a few songs,
that's why I was surprised. Like when he left, I was like, wow, he left. Damn, that's not easy
their
thing to do.
friendships in their songs. The members and members from an opposing Brixton gang called 410 reference their friendships in their songs.
My siblings, he was my friend from years, boys from there, soon a victim. But you know,
he was my friend from years. Why you gotta fuck with them? Niggas ain't real.
But
like, bro, exactly, bro. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, the fact you gotta choose your gang over your friend is so stupid, bro. It is stupid and sickening, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, dude.
So before, Harlem was really properly formed into a group. And after Harlem members left Tennyson School and started to go to college, older members of the Cuckoo gang, who were running Kenton at the time, started to take these younger Harlem members.
Bro. I hate y'all, bro. Every time I look at Loski now, I see him differently because you always want to say I look like him. I hate y'all, bro. I freaking hate y'all, bro.
We started off with Harlem members chilling on the Kenton blocks
my
alongside the
gosh,
older Cuckoo
man.
gang. And then eventually, the younger started to trap off Cuckoo members' lines and making money alongside them. And this is how a lot of gang affiliation starts, with older members bringing you in to chill around the gang, which will eventually result in you making money with the olders.
Yep, that's exactly how it is. Let me tell you guys something. It's like this series I watch. You know, it's a movie, but it's basically it's not a movie. It's a series, TV show, but it's basically saying that can happen in real life. So let me tell you something. You guys know the show All American? You probably heard of it, but you haven't watched it. So, long story short, it's a football series, and it's also drama and stuff like that, right? So, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a dude in there. I guess he's in a gang, right? And the reason why he was in a gang was because his brother put him in the gang. Like, his brother brought that to him. His brother, like, took him in the gang, bro. Like, that's how it really starts with some of these gangs, too. Like, you have a family member that's in it, and you basically in it because they're in it. So,
Probably
and then they just take you
and then
in.
eventually, after spending a lot of time with these guys, you will see them as family. And the next thing you know, you're throwing up gang signs and riding for these people. So while Harlem was starting to chill in Kenton more heavily with the older gang Cuckoo, Brixton gangs who beefed Cuckoo started to recognize the younger Harlem members to be wrapped up in this beef as well. And this was really the start of Harlem Spartans gang involvement. Originally, the gang came under two separate sets, one called Kenton Park and one called Younger Cuckoo. But eventually, the lines got blurred between these two, and they just started to roll as Harlem Spartans. Then in 2014, the group started to record music at a local youth center and started releasing some tracks in 2015 with early tunes like Re-Up, 3000 Savage and Shit Then, coming from the two Harlem rappers Blanco and Biz, as well as other rappers
we know who
TG
those are.
Million and Zico dropping solo tunes, and younger Harlem members like C-Rose dropping some exclusives. But C-Rose didn't allow—
That's so funny. We actually haven't listened to C-Rose yet. That's crazy to think.
himself to growing music properly, because in the same year of 2015 he was convicted of manslaughter and was sentenced to 16 years in prison. It was really when Harlem rapper Loski jumped on the scene that the gang really started to get some recognition, and the song that really took off was Loski's song Hazards in June 2016, which was literally the song of the summer that year. You couldn't go anywhere in London without that song being played, and the reason why this song took off so much wasn't just because it sounded good. At the time, this was one of the most disrespectful drill tunes out, with a couple
Really?
towards a Brixton.
No way! way.
When Loski said,
Violence, no mess. They say 150, but it's 146. Should have friend them dead.
and this is in reference to the 4 150 members who had died at the time, which were Pistol, SQ, Gauze, and Jay Minna. But
Nah, that's disrespectful. You see what he said right there, right? They're not called 150, they're called 146 because those 4 members that was in 150, they took, bro. Loski, ain't no, bro. Loski, you get disrespectful like that, my boy?
one of his next lines was one of the most disrespectful lines in drill.
Hey, shorty just all so long. Looking at Gora's coffee.
Gora was a respected member of the 150 gang who had died in 2015 after he borrowed money off another 150 member but refused to pay it back. So the other 150 member just shot and killed him. Now after
Stupid,
Loski
bro.
just
Over
mocked
money.
Gora,
Stupid.
150 members weren't happy about this obviously, and the 150 rapper called Sticks shortly after posted a video of himself on Harlem's block. Also, in some leaked Twitter messages between the same members, Sticks and somebody else, you can see Sticks says they're mashing work on the field youths, which basically means that Harlem were putting some real pressure on them on the streets. And the field youths that Sticks was referring to was another gang called 410 in Brixton, who were allied with the 150 gang and were beefing Harlem. For a fairly newly established gang, Harlem were really starting to make some noise in the music and on the streets. There's hella videos on YouTube of Harlem members attacking 410 members on CCTV and cameras. Shortly after the release of Loski's diss track Hazards in 2016, he went to jail for possession of a knife, which he got quite a bit of time for. But luckily for him and the group, the other members of Harlem picked up where he left off and started growing the Harlem Spartans name, dropping UK drill classics at the end of 2016 and the start of 2017.
Yeah, we gotta check out more
like
Harlem
Call Me a
Spartans
Spartan
for
and
sure.
Kenton Where It Started, which was literally on replay all throughout the UK in 2017, and even got the Canadian rapper Drake co-signing Harlem Spartans and captioning his Snapchats with the UK in 2017, and even got the Canadian rapper Drake co-signing Harlem.
Bro, Drake! We talking about Mr. Champagne Poppy, Drizzy, right? I think that's one of his nicknames, I guess. I don't know, I'm probably wrong, but Drake, bro.
Spartans and captioning his Snapchats with Harlem.
Hey, you gotta, you know what? Some people may hate Drake, but you gotta give him credit for where it's due. He put a lot of people on. You know, look, he co-signed Harlem Spartans, helped them become even bigger than what they are, and he put The Weeknd on. I know you guys heard of The Weeknd, yeah. The Weeknd is who he is today because of Drake. If Drake didn't step in, totally different story. You should look it up, do your research on it. It's very interesting stuff, man.
Lyrics. Quite early on, another Harlem rapper called JoJo was arrested and sentenced to 7 years in prison for possession of a knife, a firearm, grievous bodily harm and robbery, which is a real small sentence for all them crimes. And it's a shame because JoJo had a real potential to blow up in the drill scene. But on the other side of the pond, their ops, 410 in Brixton, were also killing the music game in 2017, especially their Mad About Bars, which is on nearly 30 million views. And
Did we check out? I don't think we checked that
both
out.
410 and Harlem were at the top of the game in 2017 and would even often sneak diss each other in hit songs. But despite Harlem Spartans really taking off in 2017, 2017 was also their start of their downfall. After the Call Me a Spartan video was released, Harlem rapper TG Million got into a high-speed chase with one of his ops. When catching up, he stabbed him, causing grievous bodily harm, and he was eventually found guilty and sentenced to 12 years.
Oh,
This left
damn,
the rappers,
bro.
MizOrMac, Blanco, and Biz to hold it down for the group, while the rest were inside. But that was no issue, with MizOrMac being probably one of the best drill artists the UK has ever seen, and Blanco and Biz having their own unique style that fans love, with the three dropping some classics like 21st Century Spartans, Kent Nizzy and No Hook. But there was one issue. Fans started to notice that MizOrMac and Blanco wasn't in the No Hook music video, despite it being their own song. Well, not too long before the video, Blanco and MizOrMac actually got arrested themselves, while riding on their ox with a gun and samurai sword in February 2007.
With a gun and a samurai sword? Nah, this is, bro. They think this is like Assassin's Creed or something like that. They think they playing like the 1000s or whatever, bro. Where do you even get a samurai sword from? Like, I know where you could get it from, but where in the UK would you get that from?
It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and both were in the back of a cab in Camberwell, South London, looking for ops, when their cab got pulled over and they were caught with a gun and samurai sword. MizOrMac got 6 years and Blanco got 3 years, and it was starting to come clear that Harlem's beef with opposite areas started to take over their music, and Harlem started.
I also heard, you know, this is not it's not about this video, but I heard recently that this dude Suspect is smart, bro. Like, I can't even lie to you guys. This dude is street smart, you know? I heard that this dude, like, in his music videos, it's not him. It's either, like, a family member that looks like him, or it's just somebody else that's playing him in the music videos. While Suspect being suspect in his music videos. He's over here out in the run. I think it was like Costa Rica or something like that. Like this dude, bro, he's doing it smart, bro. Like it's crazy,
Had to
bro.
become very heavily monitored by.
And then I think he married somebody, or like he got a girlfriend for like to get like a passport or like a card or something. This dude is moving like crazy, bro.
Police, which just made everything hot for them because they were really putting in some work on the streets. Then in June of 2017, Harlem's original main rapper Loski was released from jail and wasted no time releasing his first tune, Teddy Bruckshot, which was an instant hit, dropping other bangers like Money and Beef, Call Me Loose, and his Tim Westwood freestyle. And also at the end of 2017, dropping another song with a rapper called Mayski, called Mummy's Kitchen, which was a very rude song to their ops. Mayski is from a gang called Moscow 17, which is allied with Harlem.
Bro, we checked them out before. We need to check out more. We got a lot of things to check out, man.
London, which is also a their main beef was with a gang called Zone 2 located in Peckham.
We just checked that out yesterday! This is crazy.
Southeast London, which is also a very hot beef, which I won't go into too much in this video because I might make a separate video on this in the future. But throughout the Mummy's Kitchen song, they dissed dead ops and different street situations. It started to seem like Harlem was making a comeback though, with Loski growing massively and younger Harlem members starting to jump on drill, like on drills and LM, and they were also starting to rack up views as well. So 2018 was looking like a good bounce back from Harlem. But then on May 5th, 2018, a car pulled up to Moscow 17's block, the gang which was affiliated with Harlem, which I mentioned earlier, while a 17-year-old rapper called GB from Moscow was playing football with another member called Incognito on their block. GB was shot and killed, but the gang who killed GB was actually trying to kill Incognito after Incognito beat a murder case of an affiliated member.
You see, bro, I'm telling you, bro. You see how they mistake people? I'm telling you, bro. They're gonna... You guys say I look like Loski. What do you think the ops is gonna say when they see me in UK? What do you think is gonna happen? Shoot, I might go straight up bald, so that way they ain't gonna recognize me as Loski.
And this murder is actually still unsolved, so I'm not gonna speculate
what?
GB because I only talk about situations which
wow.
have actually already been prosecuted for. The death of GB made South London very, very hot at the time, with both sides riding out heavily during the whole summer, and both sides taking many snaps on each other's block and dissing each other.
By advertising on YouTube, I grow my business by reaching my most important customers, people like Allison. She's a fashionista who's passionate.
I don't know. I'm confused. Huh? Was that attempted? Was it the murder?
Come outside, man. Come outside, man. Come outside.
Very much. Wish a nigga would. And 2 months after GB's death, unfortunately the beef was stepped up to another level. Rapper SA from Harlem was riding on his ops block on the back of a moped, loaded with a gun looking for his ops. When he spotted some ops in the car, he got close and aimed his gun, but his gun jammed and he was stabbed 5 times. SA and his other accomplice drove away after SA was stabbed, but after a half of a mile of riding away, the other accomplice pushed SA off the ped and shouted to the public to take him to hospital, more than likely to save himself from being wrapped up in the situation. The member who pushed SA off the ped was actually from Harlem's affiliated gang called Moscow 17. And of course, Harlem was not happy about one of their members pushing SA off the ped and leaving him to die. So both gangs started to go back and forth, which caused a big divide between them. But less than 2 weeks after SA's death, Moscow 17's leader was also stabbed to death on the same street where GB was killed. And Incognito was even one of the only Moscow members left that Harlem was still cool with at the time. But after these recent L's, Harlem were riding a lot and were going on an absolute rampage. But at the same time, Harlem Spartans were being monitored by the police heavily. Harlem rapper G Smarko rid on his ops block for revenge and shot a rival and was sentenced to 21 years in prison. Another Harlem rapper Scratcher and GG were riding out on their ops with a gun and were caught, then were sentenced to 15 years combined. And another member of Harlem, Jug, was jailed for 10 years after stabbing a man in the head, leaving permanent brain damage. And member T-Trap, another member of Harlem Spartans, was jailed for 21 years after murdering a man who disrespected one of his friends. So as I said before, Harlem were just going on a rampage after losing their friend.
It depends on what he said for the disrespect. Because, guys, for you to take somebody's life, it has to be so serious, bro. Because, dude, it better not be over some petty stuff to take somebody's life. That's not worth it, dude.
and clearly started to focus more on their beef than the music. But Loski was still holding it down for the group musically, still getting millions of views on his songs. But in 2019, it seemed like the roads were getting the best of him again, when he was arrested in his cab while he had a firearm on him, leaving the Harlem rapper Biz to be the only free rapper of Harlem Spartans still out. But when Biz was going home after his last music video called Beretta at the end of 2019, he started to get into an argument with some people on the phone, which he then arranged to meet after the argument. When he met the guys he was arguing with, he attempted to swing a mallet at the guys, but dropped it and was set upon and stabbed to death, right after filming one of his best music videos, which is now on 2.1 million views, leaving the gang pretty much all wiped out. Quite a few members of the gang also got time for drug offences, like Old Boy, who was caught when officers spotted people in a queue outside of his trap house, and was sentenced to 2 years and 8 months for possession with intent to supply, and Snow, who was caught in Wales running a county line drug operation and was sentenced to 4 years, and Hector, who was caught drug trafficking and was sentenced to 4 years as well. Both rappers, MizOrMac and Loski, have both been released.
It's crazy. All these people just getting sentenced, bro. It's just like, that's crazy. Might have been revived, especially after the rapper. Wow, that's how they ended? Hey, it's facts. It's like what he said, man. It's like what Kid Nerd just said right now, bro. That's the fault. And how did they fall? Either getting sentenced, going to jail, or dying. It's like what just Kid Nerd just said right now. So, guys, if you're watching this, do not affiliate yourself with the gang. You guys don't need that, man. If you want to be a drill rapper, you could do that. But like, beef with your cat or somebody, or beef with your ex. Beef with your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, alright? But dude, don't take this on another level where you have to threaten a man's life and take somebody's life from this earth, bro. It's not worth it. It's not, dude. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. If you reached to the end of this video, thank you guys so much. But with that being said, I love you guys so much. Tune in to the next video, and I'll see you guys later.